Right, so Serfray is a monster catching game along the lines of Pokemon and others. You capture creatures called serfs and control them directly to fight other serfs and non-serfs for some reason, I'm not sure yet. This is a game that I do not intend to finish, for it seems potentially very large and in a genre I haven't so much as touched with the hairs on my chinny chin, and so I don't know how to make it. You're this guy, right? The human, and you can whip free serfs, and if the serf is weak enough, it will be captured into your cabal. You can switch between members of your cabal, and each unit has different abilities. Inactive serfs are shown floating behind you, suspended in some kind of horrifying, compressed, spherical state. Currently there are 5 serfs: Blobule, Spinder, Octodron, Fatbutt, and Dummy, who is just a target dummy, without any attacks yet, or the ability to move. I'll be grabbing some influence from Dota for the mechanical designs of these serfs. Each one pretty much has a list of abilities they can perform to damage others or benefit itself and or its allies. And much like Dota heroes, I think I will design serfs to each be overpowered in a specific and limited way. Much like how Dota's Ursa can deal obscene amounts of damage if he's able to stand and fight. Perhaps the Spinder will be able to deal unparalleled damage if it's able to get in close and slice up its foes. Perhaps one serf will deal pitiful damage with a hard-to-land attack, but heal every ally every time it lands a hit. Perhaps one will have an attack with a wind-up so long you could make tea between pressing the button and actually attacking, but which deals enough damage to one-shot any final boss, any god of gods, or Father Christmas himself. On that note, I'm also looking at giving abilities fairly long lead-up animations and very limited hitboxes. The human's capture ability is a perfect example of both. You have this long-ass lead-up of over a second, and it can only attack horizontally. If an enemy is above or beneath you, well then you're just kind of fucked. Good luck. Unless you move slightly, or the enemy does. Even with only a few serfs and a few scattered abilities, this combat is kind of fun already. I like it. You have to think about positioning a lot, make enemies go where you want them to go. With the very limited ways in which serfs can attack, I want to create opportunities for thinking about team composition. If you have a serf that excels in attacking horizontally, then you probably want to also capture a serf that can attack vertically, or one that can reposition enemies into the horizontal plane. Currently there is no limit to the size of your cabal of serfs, but I would obviously have to impose such a limit to create any kind of meaningful decision with regards to team composition. With no limit it's just gotta catch 'em all. No decisions of which serf works better with the team, no sacrifices, no weighing up of options. There are 2 potential narrative tones here that seem like they would conflict. The first is the idea that these serfs are your friends, and the player should like them and want to preserve them, be sad when they die, etc. This is the benefit of creating pet-like emotional attachment, which seems to be the appeal that Pokemon thrives on. Here it would create some much-wanted ups and downs across the course of a playthrough as serfs are gained and lost. There would be a great cost of lives to going into a dangerous but potentially rewarding situation, and I love me a good high-risk, high-reward predicament. The other is that you are a villain, going around enslaving mostly innocent creatures and forcing them to inflict violence upon each other. As you could tell from the name, Serfray, and the visual design of the human, this is the tone I tend to lean toward more. It's kind of funny, and pokes fun at the very foundational ideas of these cockfighting games. It's also unique. A lot of games place you as the villain in some way, but not many have you going around committing terrible evils on a moment-to-moment basis. These tones seem like they would conflict with one another, but I also wonder por qué no los dos? As a human being, it's my duty to look for a way to have my cake and also eat it, and so I will consider ways to do just that. I would like to make this game in a more or less open world according to a design that I have been mulling over for many moons. But even though YouTube videos can be as long as 12 hours, possibly longer, I will claim that I'm too short on time to actually describe the nature of this world. I know what I'm gonna do next. Maybe more Serfray, maybe something else, maybe a long series of shitpost. Whomst knows? For now I'm going to... fucking, I don't know. Bye, lol. Wee.